Friends, welcome to today's video. Today's video is not necessarily like other videos. Today's video is what are we getting rid of? What are we not buying again? I have a huge tote of stuff and I just did a full face of makeup. I will link everything below, but a couple of those things that I used in today's video is adding to the pile. So let's get started. Okay, this was the only thing I had, and this is chocked full. So two of these items that I just added from today's face, I really wanted to like. The Kylie Bronzer is something that I will not be buying again just because I just don't think it applies it very well. I don't think the shade's dark enough, and I feel like it's patchy and it's got like a reddish undertone, and reddish undertones just don't work for me. And I just don't think it's worth the money. I don't think Kylie Jenner's line here, I'm just going to put it out here, full transparency. I think Kylie Jenner's line is great. I think she's got some good eyeshadows. I think some of her face stuff is good. Her lip kits are to die for. I just don't think that everything she has is a hit. I think some stuff is patchy, just with any makeup brand, and I just did not think that this bronzer was worth it. The next item that I have is the Beauty Blender Bounce foundation. I really wanted to love this. It just makes my skin look so patchy and so gross. I just don't like it. I have it on right now and it slid all over my nose. There's patches of no makeup on my nose. I just don't like this. I think there are 10 times other better foundations. Now, I love Beauty Blender as a brand because I love their sponges. I don't know why I've been sleeping on this sponge for so long, the Beauty Blender Pro, but this is one of my first times using it, and it's just amazing. I love it. So I liked this, and now I think my skin's different every time I do my makeup, I think. Sometimes it's oily, sometimes it's not. My skin is very touch and go. With how my skin is right now, this is just not working for me, and I will not be buying this again. Remember, these are just my opinions. You are free to form your own. Speaking of Kylie, we have the Kylie Skin Foaming Face Wash. Okay, do you guys see how red this is? This was brown before that, and then this was clear when I first bought it. I didn't think that it worked that great. It started to change colors. You can tell I didn't really use it that much, but it changed colors. Some people said, oh, well, you probably didn't store it right, or, oh, blah, 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 blah. No, this is what this does. It might not affect it. I just think it looks gross, and I'm very aesthetic when it comes to my makeup and my skincare, so I like to just keep things pretty, and this is just not it for me. Okay, next product we have is the Jeffree Star Alien Palette. Now, Jeffree Star is a horrible person. Don't stand him, just know. But he does have good products. He does have good formula. This I got this in one of his Valentine mystery boxes, and the color scheme is just not it for me. Like, I am living for this Area 51 purple and some of these shimmers, but overall this just doesn't work for me. And if I don't have to, I'm not gonna support someone who bashes females online, who is a racist and does a whole bunch of nasty things. So I would not buy Jeffree Star's products ever again in my life. This palette, I'm only getting rid of it because it just doesn't fit what I need. I have the Jawbreaker palette and I have the Cremated palette, which I'll be keeping because I spent my hard-earned money on it. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to think about who you're supporting. When I bought those two palettes, I really loved Jeffree Star. I hadn't really seen anything that he had done that was so gross in a long time, and you know, people can change. But now I won't buy into more of his stuff. Alright, next we have the Violet Voss Essentials. This is the Pro Series eyeshadow palette. I really wanted to love this. I got this in one of my first BoxyCharms, and when I was first getting into makeup, I really liked it. I love the color scheme. I think the color scheme is so pretty, but the shadows are just so ashy, and they're so, I don't know, they're just so chalky, and it's just not worth it. There's so many other good eyeshadow palettes out there, and I just don't think this is worth the money. Alright, we have the Wonder Beauty. This is the Trip for Two Blush and Bronzer Duo. I'm gonna be real. The bronzer is too light for me. The blush, I like really low-key dark blushes, and this daiquiri blush is just chalky, and I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. I tried to use this on multiple occasions, and I'm bougie when it comes to makeup. That's why I don't just get random stuff. I do my research. I like my brands that I like, and I just don't like that. Now, Wonder Beauty has some other stuff that I do like. They have a mascara that I like. This just didn't work for me. One, because just the shades aren't right. Alright, you guys know it. You love it. You've seen me use it a million times. This is the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. The only thing that I don't like about this is I think it was an okay primer. That's the thing. Most of these products that I have, I just have stuff better that I like, and I have more room for stuff. Or I don't have a lot of room. This, I don't like the smell of coconut water. I think it's a super thin texture, and Too Faced is kind of owned by like nasty people, and it's just super thin, like a screen almost, and I don't like it. I like a thick primer. I like something that can make my face feel nice and tacky so that we can get the product to stay on, and I just don't think this does this. This would probably be a good moisturizer because it does make my face feel nice and refreshed. I just don't grab for it as much as I do. The only reason I have grabbed for it is because I needed just to get rid of it so I could have the space. But it's going away, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Next, we have the Lorac. This is one of my problems with this brand. It just has the name on it. It doesn't say what it is. This is like a bronzer blush palette, a highlight palette. I don't freaking know. One, these shades are too light for me, and I just don't grab for this. I don't think it's got shimmer in it, but it doesn't have enough to make me want to grab it. Lorac, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Lorac is sold at Kohl's, and when I worked at Kohl's, I bought this, and I've had it forever, so it's probably expired like a mug. I just don't like the tones. I don't like the tones, and I just have better quality stuff that I don't have to work with a lot. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I haven't even tried this, but I just know I'm not going to like it. I don't like matte foundations. I just know this isn't going to work for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this now. And I have so many foundations that I love. This might shock some of you, okay? I really just want you guys to mentally prepare for what I'm about to show you. The Fenty Beauty Eyeshadow Primer. Oh, the eyeshadow palette. I got this, Fenty. How I got onto Fenty actually is a really funny story because I don't think that I would have just bought Fenty. People, when they're buying makeup, they really just buy for the name sometimes, like Kylie, Kim K, KKW, Jaclyn Hill, Jeffree Star, Tati, and Rihanna, Selena, Alicia Keys. BoxyCharm did a collaboration with Fenty, and it was a whole Fenty box. I got this in there. I don't really like the eyeshadows. This eyeshadow palette, I should say. This is more of like a topper eyeshadow. There's a lot of shimmers, not a lot of mattes, and I just don't think the quality of this palette is the greatest. I haven't tried any of their other shadows. I think this was one of the first ones to come out. The thing about this is that it has like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 good shimmers in it, and I just don't have the room to hold another eyeshadow palette. I have eyeshadow palettes that I like better, that have more, they have the same colors, and the same color story, but there's more of them that I like and that I can work with. This just wasn't it for me. Okay, we have the Profusion Mixed Metals Nude palette. So this has 9 matte and metallic shades. Like I said, I have a lot of Morphe palettes that have this color story. I just don't feel the need to keep this. This one is super, super chalky. You can kind of tell. I usually would grab this on the go, but now I have mini like Huda palettes. I have a mini Maybelline. I have a mini Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I just don't grab for this. This is just something I don't grab. I don't think that the colors aren't pretty. I think that this is a great palette for someone starting out, but I think that I've just kind of moved past Profusion palettes as a whole. Alright, this is the Nomad Berlin Underground palette. This color story, I got this in a BoxyCharm. I just don't, these are just colors I don't use. And I'm not one to jump around palette to palette to palette. And I don't like this. This is not appeasing to me. I really, honestly, don't know who this would be appeasing to. Speaking of Anastasia Beverly Hills, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. Okay, look. Translucent powder, they say, is for light skin tones to set their face. I use loose translucent powder under my eyes just because I like how bright it makes my base for my bronzer. This is like freaking snow, y'all. So I'm not gonna knock Anastasia Beverly Hills and powders altogether, but this, whew, just makes your face super white. I just don't like it. Okay, so we have the Makeup Revolution. This is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. I love Makeup Revolution, like, I'm not gonna lie. Love the brand. This just wasn't it for me. It creases so bad, and I've tried to love it. I've tried to work with it. I've tried to put eye cream, then do my concealer right after, and then set it right after. It just doesn't work. That concealer is awful, and I've tried to love it. Makeup Revolution, I still love you, but your concealer just didn't hit the way it should have. Now we have the Artistry. This is the Pink Sugar Light Up Lip Gloss. Honestly, this just came down to a, I don't really grab for you. You don't appease me the way I want you to. You're not as pigmented as I like, so we're getting rid of you. This is the Fluidity Concealer. People love. Jaclyn Hill swears by this concealer, and I'm like, how? Now, this is not my right shade. I'll give it that, but I just think it dries down very matte, very dry on my skin, and I just don't like it. It's crazy because I have these products that I don't like, that I swear by other stuff in their line, like Morphe, their eyeshadows, I swear for them. Makeup Revolution, their eyeshadow palettes, I love them, but they just have that one product, and it's like, no, you probably shouldn't have. I think I heard something about this concealer being reformulated, so I would be open to trying again. This is really sad because they're going out of business in September. This is the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation in the shade Bamboo. Like I said, I'm a huge freak about packaging, and everything wore off on this, so I don't know anything unless I look on the bottom. I don't think this is full coverage. This gives me a very light tinted moisturizer look, I think. It's kind of hard to blend. It's hard to get out. It takes several pumps, and I don't know if it's because it looks like it's drying out. It clumps up a lot. As much as I do like this foundation. Would I buy it again? No, because if I wanted something this light of coverage, I would just use a tinted moisturizer, because then at least I know what exactly I'm looking for. But when I see ultimate coverage and it's barely covering anything on my face, I'm just not for it. This is the Morphe Blush Trio in the shade Pop of Pink. Let me tell you something about Morphe. I love them. I do. I think they have good collaborations. I think that they have good eyeshadow palettes. I love their new foundation. I love their highlighters. One, I think that their customer service line is trash bucket. Whenever I order Morphe, I don't order it from Morphe.com. I get it at Ulta because their customer service sucks. They have a great setting spray. I love it. This blush I received like this. I emailed them wanting them to fix it. They didn't fix it. So I just kind of stuck with this. Free, I don't really like. That's not my color. Maybe on the eyes or something. Spirit I do like this. It's just a little ashy for me. It's chalky. It feels chalky on the skin. I'm just so picky when it comes to stuff. And with that concealer, we have the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This is my summer shade. This is a little dark. I like how thick that applicator is. I do prefer a pump when it comes to foundation. I would buy this again. The Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Lip Pencil. There's nothing wrong with like the formula or the shade or anything. I just don't like the pencils. This broke. I can't get it to roll up. I think the gel lip liners are so much better. Pencils just don't work for me. Pencils don't work for my eyeliner. Pencils don't work for my lips. They don't work. Okay, so this is the Grande Drama Intense Thickening Mascara with Castor Oil. For one, I don't like the packaging. I don't like how the packaging feels. Two, this is just so thick, it just clumps your lashes together, and who wants that? Come on. I don't like the smell of it. I don't know if it's castor oil. Castor oil just gives me the creeps just thinking about it because, you you hear the myths about people drinking it while they're pregnant. We have the Morphe Setting Powder. This is the Bake and Set Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. I don't like this because, like the Anastasia Beverly Hills, it gives a lot of flashback. If there's anything in my makeup routine that I'm super picky about, it's my powder and my eyeshadow. And I have a set powder routine and I'm sticking to it. Okay, this is the Touch and Soul No Pore Problem Primer. This is a smooth and pore covering primer. I don't see how this works because you need something you can push into them pores, and this is just water. It's rose water in a bottle. Next, we have the CoverGirl Expeditionist. This is a liquid eyeshadow. I don't know if you can tell, but it's separated. Ew, look how clumpy that is. I don't have nothing else to say about that. Okay, now we have two liquid lipsticks. This is the Wet n Wild Megalast Liquid Catsuit. They're both that. One is in the shade Give Me Mocha, and one is in the shade Chic Got Real. This is too pink for me. My melanin just doesn't agree with light pink like that. I have this shade in a Morphe one, and it's just so much better quality. This just clumps together, dries down, clumps up, starts like chipping almost. Okay, this is the Makeup Revolution Pro HD Amplified 35 palette. I have had this for a really, really long time. This is one of the first, when I decided that I was going to get into makeup, doing makeup on YouTube, this is one of the first ones I bought. Not throwing this one away either. I just have to get it out of my collection right now. I think that these purples are so pretty. Like, look at that. I'm gonna have to play with this, okay? Like, I can't throw this away. I love you. I'm sorry. Me and my eyeshadow palettes, we just have a special connection. Okay, let's talk seriously about Fenty. Fenty, I love you. Rihanna, I love you. Fenty, it is my goal, my dream, to be on the Fenty PR list. But, and I'm not the one who has said this, the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, that's a lot to say, in the shade 330. Remember I said that, 330. This is not a match for me. This is so gold. It's so crazy. I have the same shade, 330, in the hydrating foundation with Fenty. Perfect. It's a perfect match. This is just too gold. I just don't like it. I will never purchase that one again. I wanted to buy both of them so I could try them out. But that just wasn't it. The Fenty Concealer is the same way. That is shade 330. This is shade 345. I need to look at their concealers again and try a different one and give you really my honest opinion. You know what, this is crazy because this is almost the shade as my 330 matte foundation. Guys, that is all for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all liked seeing the makeup products that I didn't necessarily like. What's crazy is that doesn't even touch to all the stuff that I have sitting on my desk. So I'm thinking about doing a favorites collection with bronzers, all that. Just not just all pushed together like I did this one. Alright guys, that is all for today's video. Make sure you like, subscribe. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays. We want to get to 100 subs, so when I get to 100 subs, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'll give more information on that when I hit that. I have about 32 more people to go, so tell your friends. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Don't miss out on the fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.